Welcome to this session with me, Hean Batlea. So we are Jesuits and we are batchmates. We journeyed along the way 3 years, studied together in Loyola House of Studies, and this is the time we are set out for mission. So as today, the gospel says, Jesus sent his disciples, go and proclaim the good words. So, without further ado, so our podcast title today is Grace in Communion, Blessing and Challenges of Jesuit Community Life. I wonder how challenges that we are encountering this life, how blessings that we encounter with each other, share with each other. So, welcome.
Thank you.
To the Grace in Communion.
It's an honor.
A space
First honor.
we reflect on and faith, community, and the quiet ways moves in our lives. I am your host, and today we explore a theme that is both deeply personal and beautifully shared: the blessings and the challenges of living in communion, especially within the Jesuit community life. So today's episode is special. We are not just talking about community, so we are living in it. So I am joined by my brothers, Kevin, my brothers, Bertrand, Jerry, Joel, and John Mar. So once again, welcome to you all. So the first segment is the meaning of life, meaning of Jesuit life. Of what can be meaning of life, can be meaning of Jesuit life. We can share both. So I believe in you after the philosophy, after 2 educations. So let me begin a question all of you. What does it mean personally and spiritually to live as a Jesuit life today? My brother Jerry.
Living a Jesuit
Life.
Well, the first thing that came into my mind is to always be ready, to always on the go. Yeah, and it's more of the generosity of being available, the readiness to be sent always. And I think that's quite hard also. It's a challenge also, but I think that's when we talk about Jesuit life, that's the first thing that came into my mind to the availability to always go, the readiness to go. Yeah.
Brother Kevin.
So for me, living a Jesuit life means witnessing to the reign of God and demonstrating to the world that religious life is still a valid, a rational choice because nowadays there's a decline in vocation and commitment is also affected. Young people and others are afraid to commit. No? So to be a Jesuit, connected with being available, is also being a witness, you know, that this life can be fulfilling, this life can help one flourish and others.
Yeah, similar for me. I think Jesuit life is about being available to people, right? And especially sometimes when people need a listening ear, they need someone to speak to, and they feel that maybe at home or at work they don't always have that platform for someone to listen to them. So over here, I'm able to exercise that in my student apostolates, speaking to students, having conversations, and then just chatting with them. I think it's all about being available to people.
For me, I think being a Jesuit is about becoming open in the sense of developing a spaciousness in you to accommodate different worldviews, different life stories, because so many people come to us to share, to seek help. And I think being a Jesuit is that, and then to be able to find God in their life working already. I think that's the tremendous grace that we are offered through the spiritual exercises. God helps us to find Him wherever and whoever we meet.
Thank you for the spoon. Well, for me, living as a Jesuit at this day and age, it's really to have that disposition of wonder, because in this day and age, it is easy to stay with what we know, with our comfort zones, and so when we have this disposition of wonder, of curiosity about the world, about the people who live with us, even with studies. There is an openness to be able to accommodate new knowledge, to be able to accommodate opinions of others, and to be able to embrace the truth and to understand the experience of other people and to expand our own horizons as well. So yeah, that's being a Jesuit.
So for me, it's like being a Jesuit is always being in a frontier line. Every challenge we face, Jesuit is always face every challenge, not only the good, but we are formed to face the first the challenge in our life today, especially in digital world. So I believe in you. We believe in each other. Our formation really helps us to encounter the challenge. So to Brother Kevin, I heard you always emphasize about importance of listening. As because of course when you read, listening is more important because it always integrated with the listening and then the heart and the mind and the soul. I think that's it. So how deep listening shaped your experience of community life? Can you share a moment when listening became a form of grace for you?
Yeah, so for context, listening within the church has become, I don't want to say trending, but the synod and synodality has once again raised up the importance of being a listening church, and also in practice, not only in theory. So in community life, really deep listening is challenging because sometimes I listen, but it doesn't really enter into my interiority, because I can be there, I can listen, but I'm not really present, and I don't have I'm not intentionally receiving what the other is sharing to me, because of my prejudices, my cultural stereotypes, etc. But one of the activities that I like here in Loyola House of Studies, because we're too focused sometimes on studies, during recollection, there's an opportunity for spiritual conversations. And I think during those times, I try to exercise deep listening. And one moving experience I had is when this brother, whom I really didn't expect na he'll share like that, because of my biases, etc. But this time that he opened about his struggles, which I don't usually hear from him, his struggles, his being vulnerable. For me, that was a grace-filled experience, because I allowed myself to be surprised. I allowed myself to let him speak about his experiences. Because our encounters might not be that too deep. I might not be too close with him, although we are friends, we talk with each other, but sometimes deep conversations are rare. But in some opportunities it comes, and that's where I try to listen and to learn from him and to understand him better. So that's a grace I consider.
So listening is a grace. It's not easy for everyone to listen. Of course, we can hear, but to listen carefully.
But we need to listen with the heart.
The heart is difficult. So you really emphasize about the grace of listening. So to Brother Joel, so you often speak about a mission, a lot of mission. So how do you see your personal calling aligning with the mission of the community? So what challenges arise when balancing individual desires and communal mission?
Okay. I think we go back to GC 34 where we learn about General Congregation 34 for the Jesuits. We learn about how community is mission, right? And so a key part of being a Jesuit is about living in community. Perhaps for people outside maybe that was not so obvious before. You know, we often see Jesuits working like almost like a solo warrior, but really to be in the society is also to be living in community. And I think a lot of my personal vocation and my personal growth also occurs within community setting. Because, you know, in community we bump into each other. We are many individuals with strong opinions, with strong ideas on what kind of Jesuits we can be. But that's also a grace, because, you know, we discover the variety, we discover the breadth or the width of how God is working in each person's life, and we mutually inspire each other. But for sure, because we are all strong characters, for sure there will be bumps. But I think these bumps or conflicts are opportunity for us to learn more about ourselves. And at the end of the day, for me, being a Jesuit within the society is not about achieving what I want, right? It's about achieving what God calls me to do within the society. I spoke earlier about being spacious and open as an individual, because we can accommodate different worldview. So the real thing here is, if I cannot be understanding towards my brothers, if I cannot accompany my brothers, then I can't accompany anyone outside, you know. So really the formation ground, the seed of the vocation really begins with the community, and it's the community, the brothers, that helps me grow to become a better Jesuit.
So you really emphasize about the mission really starts from the community.
Exactly.
So when community you find comfortable and the mission goes well, and then for sure even challenges that we will encounter, but we still go on because support of the community. So that's
Exactly.
really important then. So Brother Zornmar, Zornmar is I can say he works within the silence, quiet, but at the back, very creative and supportive. Then, so you bring the creativity into community life. So how does creativity enrich your faith and your relationship within the community? In what ways can differences in expression become both a gift and a challenge for you?
Well, personally, like what I mentioned earlier, there's this attitude of wonder that I'm trying to cultivate in my life as a Jesuit. Well, because before I entered the Society of Jesus, I don't really have that sense, because what is in front of me, I accept it as it is. Being with my profession, I just have to receive whatever data I have. But with that attitude of wonder, I really have to navigate relationships. I really have to navigate the way I see myself and the way I see the mission of the Society of Jesus in different ways. And that's when creativity comes in. Creativity in the sense that I have to look at different perspectives. I have to go beyond what I see and what I hold on to. So being creative in responding to situations, to responding or to fulfilling some of my responsibilities and duties, especially in the house and what is assigned to me in my apostolate. There is always that sense of wonder in the background of trying to be open to discovering new ways of how can I respond to this kind of situation, how can I see a different perspective on this fact or in this task even. So creativity can come in different ways. It can be through actions on how I do my tasks. It can also come through how I see my brothers in the community. To be creative means to try to go beyond the cultural stereotypes that I have, to go beyond the previous experiences that I have with my fellow brothers in the community, and to see them and to be creative in seeing them in a different light, especially in the light of God's eyes. Because there are times, challenges, we're talking about challenges, but there are times that it's challenging to see how a brother can be loved, or to see how I can love a fellow member of the community. And so the best way for me is to creatively look at them and to imagine how God looks at them. Because in the end, it's really God's love who called each and every one of us in this least society of Jesus. And so it's that, to be creative and to go beyond my own perspective, and to see how God looks at situations, people, and missions.
So you really emphasize about creativity is not about doing many works, but creativity in responding to any challenges with creativity. It's not just response with direct response, but how do you respond to any challenge that happen in the community. So I think this is really important for each of us, that how use our creativity, our talent to respond to any challenges with responsible. So thank you very much for this message. So to brother Bert, Bert is really Bert is a man of discipline and structure. I can say he's a man of. I might not wrong, but that's what I noticed. So, how does Jesuit structure support the community life rather than restrict it? So, have there been moments when discipline itself became a source of grace?
I guess there's a very practical aspect to discipline, to discipline and structure, because it is something that our formators advocate also. The fact that we have Dimore, or a schedule for the day, for the week, and we also encourage to draw out a time management plan, right? So the time management plan is really for our own advantage, to be able to manage our time between our studies, our apostolate, and between our duties, because we also contribute to managing the house. So sometimes each of us has different chores, each of us has different offices within the house, but we also have to learn how to balance this with our apostolates and also our studies, which can also be very busy and can be very demanding at times. So how do you juggle all these things? So that is where I feel that the time management plan that we are asked to submit at the beginning of every academic year, together with the weekly Dimore, which is our weekly schedule, helps us to find time for community events. So we have masses, we have prayers together, but we also have time for games, recreation, games, and we also have time for other activities, communal activities, but also space for conversation, spiritual conversation. So there's a time and place for everything, right? And I find that submitting myself to this Dimore and also to the time management plan helps me to find some form of regularity in my life. And also I know what to expect the next day. I'm not going through the next day like in a very scatterbrained kind of way, in a fragmented way. But I know that at this time I have my studies, I have my classes, and then at this time I need to attend mass. So eventually you fall into a certain kind of rhythm that your body also gets adjusted to, right? So finding time to sleep, finding time to rest, finding time to exercise and to recreation. So there's a time and place for everything, and I find that Jesuit life allows us to practice this discipline.
So there is always a time and a space for us to learn and to amend and also to grow as a Jesuit, especially as a person. So I noticed that Bert is a very structured person. So once there is a meeting, when you arrive there, Bert is there. So I mean, life always as you mentioned, submit to the time and space, and everything is there. So thank you very much for that. Now let's go to the most sikat. Sikat. So Jeric, Jeric, as you all know, he's a joyful person, a cheerful person in the community. Life in the community without Jeric is
Sad.
boring. If there is Jeric, as Father Rex mentioned, sikat. So Jeric, you often speak about joy, no? How do you sustain joy? Joy in the midst of tensions or difficulties in community life. Can joy itself be a form of ministry within a community?
For me, the first thing that again came into my mind is gratitude. I will never forget this in the novitiate when one of our formators said that you are joyful because you are grateful. You experience joy because that disposition of gratitude. And there are days that you will not always experience joy. And so being grateful or gratitude, that disposition of gratitude, it's always a choice. In that's parang there are days that, let's say for example, in the community we are struggling with this tension with when we decide things, no? Parang, we have different ideas and you want to pursue your ideas and stuff like that, and to the extent that there will be like tensions. But how are you going to find joy? It's being grateful, and it's up to us to really choose. It's an everyday decision for us to choose, no? that state of being grateful. Because at the end of the day, now I understand that a happy Jesuit is not always joyful. It's more of grateful. You know, it's his identity is deeply rooted not of being joyful. He should learn every day to ground himself with gratitude. That's why examine is very important. No, because you know what, it's an opportunity for us to like, although there are days that again it feels like very heavy, but if you try to use the eyes of gratitude, and that's the time you experience joy, grateful, you'll be grateful. There's always a reason to be grateful every day.
Wow, this is I think this is the meaningful message for us all here, that a joy is not a simple joy, but it comes with a grateful
It's
heart.
a decision.
It's a decision.
It's actually a decision.
So thank you very much for that. Some people they joy just for the sake of joy.
Yeah, happy. No, it's not
but
like-
chill lang. But you mentioned about joy is really about grateful, because maybe it is a gift also. You have a gift of joy.
Yeah, like-
bring joy to community.
Like even in tension,
Tension, yes.
You will find joy in that.
That's right. Yeah, you're right.
Because you will discover something about yourself. Okay.
So this all my batchmates, they are all very good Jesuits. If you want to find them out later, just message me privately. I will tell them who are they. So they are Jesuits, always available for the mission and always ready to help. I experienced that they are very well formed Jesuits. So no doubt about them. So first, the second one is let's go a bit deeper to the community life. I call this a bit deeper. So, what are the simple everyday moments in community life where you most experience grace? So the questions the same to everyone. So hopefully you find any single grace that really touched you after 3 years of study here in Loyola House. So I begin with Brother Bert.
Yeah, grace in community life. So sometimes the tendency will be to, at least for me, will be to be very caught up in studies or to be caught up in responsibilities and duties. But I find that when it comes to us working together for something, let's say for example, we just had a Holy Week Paschal Triduum celebration, right? And at the last minute, everyone is a hero. They come together. But before that, we are panicking about what is going to happen. You know, a lot of things are not done, right? So by the last minute, everybody just comes together. So I find that what I feel most proud of, you know, what I feel happy about community is when I see brothers coming together and helping each other out. You know, so there was one evening, I think 1 or 2 days before the Paschal Triduum, and everyone was just coming together and doing stuff and helping each other out, and that I found very edifying.
Mm-hmm. So, Brother Jerry.
For me, like the grace of, I think it's a bit similar with Bertrand, like the grace of asking for help. Kasi when you, let's say for example, if you just open yourself and don't, if you lower down your pride, sometimes you have that and if you learn how to call your brothers, especially in those times that you need help, you will be overwhelmed with love. It's not more of help, it's more of love. No? And I experienced that in the recent experiences I had, like reviewing, no? Diba? I mean, that's those memories, like we review together, like philo, diba? No, I philosophy. I mean, the communal way of sharing the struggles, no, by acknowledging that you are inadequate, and it's okay. Oh, and then as you reveal your vulnerability, your lack of this particular things, it allows you to appreciate that more than your vulnerability or your lack. Parang the love of your brothers coming from their help. No? It's more than enough for you to sustain that struggle that you're going through. So yeah, I mean, just the grace of asking for help, the grace of that vulnerability to accept that you don't have that and you need that from your brothers. And I think that humility, that's one of the most important grace that I receive as I continue to be open with that.
To Brother Kevin.
For me, a particular source of joy in community life, simple thing is, the small talks I have with people, with my brothers, or conversations. Let's say non-academic conversations, which in the first place I think no one is really interested to engage with, except in other circumstances like in the classroom setting, but during meals, I enjoy such conversations like small talks, talks, which are conversations which are fun, like bantering, or joking with each other, and because these small talks, I consider this as some a rest sometimes from a busy and demanding environment, and also on my part, for me to be grounded, to enjoy these very human things, that are not really just learned from the classroom, but happens on a day-to-day. So those conversations I consider as grace and a source of joy.
Well, for me, I think I firsthand experienced how caring Jesuits can be. Just to put a context, last year I broke my leg. So I was on crutches for 8 weeks and it was difficult for me to move around a house. And so many brothers offered help to get me food, get me water, to wash my clothes, to clean my room. And I was just so in awe at the amount of help that I received. I am a person who is very independent and I don't like to ask for help, so that was a very humbling moment for me. And I think through that event, I think God was really inviting me to learn to rely on my brothers. Not just relying on myself, but relying on a greater, larger community. And that has been very graceful for me since, because now I learn to actively rely on my brothers. I learn to not so much see like a situation as just me doing it, but like what is the we in the picture, there is a we doing this thing. It's not just like solo I. And I think for me so far, this has been the most, I guess, crucial, both in terms of formation, in terms of being supported by the community and discovering how beautiful community life can be.
I just came from my last spiritual direction with my with the priest who's accompanying me for the past 3 years, and one of the things that we've talked about is that graces can come in different ways from different community members. So each community member have their own graces to give to one another, and me as a recipient can only receive those graces if I continue on engaging, because that's a lesson that I am still trying to live out, because I easily avoid people in the community. I'm being real here, but yeah, in my last conversation with my last SD, my spiritual director emphasized that graces come from different people. And I can say for the past 3 years here in the Loyola House of Studies, I've received a lot of graces from different people. And these graces sometimes are hard to see, difficult to recognize, but they contribute, they help in my own process of maturity, of being a Jesuit, of being in service for God and with God, and especially the grace of being accompanied with. This is what I have received from you guys, from my batchmates, especially from my batchmates who journeyed with me from the novitiate. This grace of being accompanied in different ways, and I'm grateful to that from God. So maybe that's it. That's one of the things that I can bring with me and I can share with the people around me, that graces come in different forms, in different ways, from different people. We just have to be open to receive it. Yeah.
So all of you emphasize about intellectual humility. Am I right? So
From our studies, yes.
from the studies, yes.
It can be quite humbling.
Humbling, yes.
Yes.
Because I also experienced that. You guys really open to help, especially to help me. I mean, some living in a community, some come to challenge your life, some comes to help you. So this part of life, when there is no challenge, no growth there. So all of it is a grace. So I remember one priest said to me, as long as you practice intellectual humility to accept the help from other people. If you don't know, say I don't know. If you know, say I know. So it is really important. I think all of us carried that. Maybe because of our formation shaped us how the way we are nowadays. To accept help also, and to give and to accept also. So I think because we are almost 1 hour now. So it seems like very fast or too long. So
fast.
very fast, very fast. So this is now it's a free talk. So as we are about to leave for the missions, what do you want to bring to your missions? After 3 years learning, praying, living in a community. So we are now living in apostolic community when you go there, but here is a study community for formations. So what would you bring or apply there in the apostolic mission? So I start from Joel. Since you are thinking.
So many things. I think a lot of. So although we are 3 years here, it's also 2 years in the novitiate, right? So all of us have been in formation for 5 years, at least. And I think so much of our formation is to prepare us for the apostolic community. In the apostolic community, we are supposed to be able to, I guess, discover what it means to be a Jesuit, working like full time and living in community life, while balancing, with some structure, but we are a lot more independent. What I hope to bring is a sense of gratitude. Like what Jared mentioned earlier, we are joyful because we are grateful. The truth is, when you are in the formation house, there are so many structures to protect us, to pray, to do various things. In the apostolic structure, maybe it's not so structured. No one is going to be there to watch me. I will be in a community with only 4 other brothers. It's so small, nobody's going to be there to remind me to pray. I hope I can continue to maintain the disposition of prayer, of examine, to reflect on my actions and discover how God is with me. My greatest fear is to lose sight of all this and be busy working. Yeah. So instead of the doing, I really hope I can stay on that being while in the mission. Then that's really being contemplative in action. Yeah.
Brother Kevin.
Yeah. So in preparation for the next mission or next formation stage, so I will bring with me things that I have learned here in Loyola House Studies. Not only the academic learnings, but my experiences, especially my encounters with my brothers, the reminders I received from my superiors, especially being open to formation, especially human formation and having a sense of balance. So, as Joel indicated, in the apostolic community, no one is there to really, someone is there to guide you, but not similar to a formation community. So how do I carry that sense of balance, balancing human, intellectual, and spiritual, and even pastoral dimensions of my mission. And I hope the structures here have really helped me to develop my own, to be able to carry that rhythm. Although it might still change there depending on the schedule, but to carry the indispensable learnings, such as being faithful to prayer, having time talking with people, engaging with the community, continuing being a pastor by different means, visiting the sick, helping the poor, or in what ways, depending on the place where I will be. These are indispensable information, And of course, obedience to the superiors, no? Which is a lifelong process as well, no? So I live as a Jesuit. Thank you.
Bro Jerry?
For me naman, I think they mentioned some. So I'll be carrying that along with me as I move. But I would like to bump onto the answer of John Mar a while ago, that although it's quite scary to enter into the unknown, diba? It's something that there's like anxiety, and right now I'm nursing that feeling of separation with my brothers. So I'm sad because after 5 years, parang we will be separated na. So I've been carrying this several days since I received the announcement that I will be in Cebu, and then everything came real. I felt so sad, though, but the invitation, I guess, for me is to have that disposition of awe and wonder, and turn it into excitement, because that's the only thing that I can do. And I know I will be carrying the memories I have with my brothers, with you, with everyone who accompanied me here in Loyola House. And yeah, I hope that I'll be able to receive that grace of awe and wonder, of creativity, of the grace of creativity to deal with all of these things, because I have this is my difficulty actually. I get easily attached, and then it will take time for me to move on, something like that. But yeah, I think there's also a grace in that. So yeah, I think you will pray for all of us, because I think we share the same feeling, the same different intensity now. And yeah, please pray for us, those who are watching.
So, Brother Jonah.
Well, with the so many things that I have received in this formation house, I will go back to that sense of wonder, because that for me, although I keep on saying that, I think I still have a long way to be able to live it, to be able to put into action. So it's a constant practice every day, and I think what I've started here in Loyola House of Studies will continue. The process of healing, the process of discovering, and the process of opening myself to the greater needs, to the greater mission of the Society of Jesus. That is, those are some of the things that I'll be bringing to this new mission of mine. And of course, this position of excitement, to be excited with the surprises and the graces that the Lord has in store for each and every one of us, especially for myself, in this new mission that I will be entering.
So for someone who is structured and disciplined, I think my greatest takeaway as I leave for Regency would be to be okay with lack of certainty, to be okay with a lack of certainty, right? Because in being okay with that, then I'm also open to the messiness of things, especially when there are no structures. I'm able to also give space for God to work, and for God to be able to show me things that I will not otherwise have seen, right? So there's a certain element of openness. There's also a certain element of obedience, submitting myself to the unknown and a lack of knowing, right? But that is also where the adventure is. I think not always having things that are premeditated, not always having things that are nicely planned out for you, not having a 5 or 10 year plan ahead, but every day it's a new day with new challenges, new adventures, and also new opportunities for God to show things to me that I would not have seen if I was too preoccupied with what I want to achieve. Yeah. So I think that is what my experience over here that I'll bring with me to my regency.
So thank you very much. So this is it. We are ready to bring whatever we have. We learn the wisdom, understanding that of course, we learn so much things here. So on behalf of my brothers, so because we are batchmates, so we want to thank really our formators who generously accompany us, even in our difficulties, in our challenges, in our joy. They're always been our formators who always push us. Even sometimes we feel that we want to back back out, but the formators really there to help us, and also for the place where really provides us a good place where we can study, where we can meet, where we can pray, meet God and our brothers. So thank you very much for Loyola House of Studies, and also our teachers in LST who really help us, nourish us with their knowledge and everything that we learn. So thank you very much for maybe if our some action that hurts you, so we sorry, and things that we can contribute in this community, so we'll be grateful. And once again, thank you very much for your accompaniment, prayer, and support. So joined by my brothers, so thank you very much. Grace in communion. We begin with the grace on communion. We end with the grace in communion. So thank you very much. Until we see you again, anytime. We are Jesuits, of course. We can see anytime, anywhere. So thank you very much,
Thank you so
brothers.
much.
Obrigado.
Thank you for
Obrigado.
Hean Bakea!